nothing to say to our cameras as he bonded out of the Broward County Jail tonight. He was arrested yet again early this morning, this time on drug charges.
And that arrest happening after quite a bizarre traffic stop. In Local 10's Christian De La Rosa joining us live now from Fort Lauderdale with much more. Christian.
And on some concerning charges, once again, he was jailed, once again on drug charges, and once again, he's bonding out. Bonding out of jail with a huge entourage hiding him from our cameras. But before he was out, he had to pose for his latest mugshot.
On count 1, possession of cocaine. Count 2, tampering with or fabricating physical evidence. Count 3 is a traffic offense not before us.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, police say they found rapper Kodak Black behind the wheel of a Bentley, sound asleep. The arrest report says it was here. The vehicle was stopped in the middle of the street on the 600 block of Northwest 47th Avenue in Plantation. Officers say when they opened the door to the vehicle, they smelled pot and alcohol. And after they got him to come out of the SUV, they reportedly noticed a white powder coming from his mouth. Investigators say the substance tested positive for cocaine, finding 4.1 grams of it in a baggie. This is just the latest legal trouble for Kodak, who is 26 years old and whose real name is Bill Capri. He was also cuffed back in July 2022 on charges of trafficking and possession of oxycodone. Capri was also issued an arrest warrant back in February of this year after failing to submit to a court-ordered drug and alcohol test. And the judge also ordered Bill Capri to submit himself to random checks for alcohol and drugs while he's bond out. Live in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Christian De La Rosa, Local 10 News.
Yeah, man. So there you go with Kodak Black, man. What's y'all take on Kodak Black? You know, with this another situation he's in right as we speak.
The thing is that's one of the things that always haunts him, and it seems like it's always gonna be a plague that's gonna be pretty much surrounding him. He said that's all he know is a prison. All he know is the jail system, is the prison system. Not only that, but in the aspect of him doing drugs and alcohol. Remember, the industry is a tough industry. The music industry is very tough. You gotta stay up long hours. You gotta make sure you entertain the fans. You gotta make sure you do all you can do so you can come home every day and bring home that bag. But in his case, it's also his surroundings as well. He's hanging around with the wrong people that's going to pretty much influence him to do wrong. And I think that's what people don't understand, that he needs people that's going to be around him that don't do things like that. But the people that's around him, they doing marijuana, they smoking, they drinking, they partying all day, all night. That's all he knows. Remember, we got to keep forgetting, Kodak is a young guy. He's not like our age. He's like, what, like, well, if I'm not mistaken, what, like
26.
26? 26?
Yep.
So he's very a young guy, so he's still trying to find himself. This is mostly when you're in your 30s and when a man actually find himself primarily. But at the same time, he's still young. He's still trying to find himself. I think he's going to come out of it eventually, but I think he just need to get the help he need. And not only that, but I think he been laced up really bad with some bad drugs, and I think that's what got him hooked. But mostly all the popular guys in the industry got hooked on it. You had Young Jeezy, who was pretty much alcoholic. He actually pretty much mentioned that. You had Trick Daddy, who's pretty much a coke fiend. The list could go on and on. Look, you have what's his name right now? Gunplay. So just the industry itself is just a dark place. King could probably tell you more about it because he actually know more info about the whole situation with Kodak Black. Go ahead.
You know, Kodak got in this industry really young. And we've heard this from many other superstars and actors who get in young. They get introduced to these drugs, and they get introduced to all types of nefarious things. Now, mind you, in Florida, this is not a secret. A lot of people smoke cocaine and weed together. A lot of people snort coke. People pop mollies. This is a part of our culture, and I think that Him having rich and having access to money is just a thing that he said Kodak has been using before going into the industry. That's a thing. You know what I mean? And this is due to poverty. And let's also remember, he didn't grow up with no daddy. How would you know what to do drugs and if you're self-medicating on pain? You feel me? So we also have to realize that. I've seen people who I've known in my life who abuse drugs to the point and abuse alcohol, and you try to save them. Once they at a point of no return, they're not. That's why it's just best to just stay off that stuff and leave it alone. Because some people don't like some of these things are hard to get off. They're hard. You know what I mean? And this is why, you know, you got to have good people around you who's not going to lead you down to that road. And I'm going to leave this last point. DMX told the story of how he got into drugs. He was only 15 and an older person gave it to him. Like, I don't know how he explained it. And he started crying talking about this. So just imagine who introduced drugs to Kodak.
Yeah, shout out to you, French Fry Ford. Said it wasn't the industry that introduced Kodak to drugs, but the money did give him more access, which is totally facts. And you like as Hakeem said, well, she get hooked on it, man. It's hard. Even if you go to rehab and everything. Sometimes when you go back out, temptation is a mug, man. Temptation. You've been in the industry, have access to anything you want. With the money and the women and everything. It's tough, especially for the young man like Kodak Black. So hopefully, one day, Kodak Black could look at his life and just ask. I was ask Kodak Black, like Kodak Black, just ask yourself, do you want to die young? And I know you don't. And I know you don't want to. He want to die young. I think that's a question you should ask himself, because that's how it's looking like right now. So Kodak, man, please, man, this really, really, I know you know what you need, but this really, really just do an evaluation of your life. Or do you want better? It might seem you got better because you're a rapper, you got some money and everything, you do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, man, what are the things that you're going through that you probably could fix in your life to make you a better person?
Yeah, not that, but shout out to the lovely Natasha Vincent. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, shout out to you, Natasha. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Kodak Black. Yeah, man. It's how the road's looking at right now. He's he looks like he's gonna continue to do what he do and everything. And I just hope that one day, he takes up and hope it's not laced with fentanyl. And if that's the case, that could just take him out. That could definitely take him out. So yeah, man, Kodak Black, man, just I'm tired of seeing this man keep going to jail and everything, and I just hope Kodak Black really evaluate his life and just see and say, hey, do I want to live long or do I want to die young?
Yeah, but I would say that thing that cocaine is one of the biggest thing that always plague the black community. That one, heroin,